everyone, I'm Maki. 2026 marks the 30th anniversary of Gundam X, and I'm sure many of you are looking forward to the commemorative products and new Gun Pro releases. Personally, I'm really excited about the prospect of a new collection of setting materials. Gundam X didn't achieve much commercial success. Because of these few setting books have been released. A few do exist, but most of them are relatively short and feel limited in scope. So, if a new book of setting materials is announced, I'm definitely planning to pre-order it. Today, I'd like to talk briefly about one of the mobile suits that appears in Gundam X Rasbet. It's a mobile suit equipped with the flash system and designed to respond to the abilities of new type pilots. There isn't much new information, but I'd love to discuss it with you based on comments from the designer. If you enjoy this kind of content, please consider supporting my channel by subscribing for just 99 cents a month. As a thank you, you'll receive a name badge and special comment stamps. Alright, let's get started. This time, I'd like to share a comment from mechanical designer Yoshinori Ishigaki. He was responsible for many of the mechanical designs in Gundam X, and he also contributed to the design work and product package illustrations for Gundam Wing. He also worked on a large number of mobile suit designs that appear in Victory Gundam. Rasbet is one of the mobile suits he designed. One of the defining features of the Rasbet is its face. It has a design similar to what we call Gundam-type mobile suits. But why is that? Let's take a look at a comment he shared on his X account. Why did I give Rasbet a Gundam-type face? Even though the name doesn't include the word Gundam, there is a reason why the bit mobile suit units and the main body share the same design. It's to prevent the enemy from identifying the real body. It wasn't intended to reduce the animation staff's workload. I don't clearly remember what my intention was at the time, but this is how I think about it now. That was Mr. Ishigaki's comment. In response to the comment, the creator Shuji Sogobi wrote a reply. Although Mr. Sogobi hasn't been heavily involved with the Gundam series, he's a veteran creator. He has also designed characters for the Super Robot Wars series. Let's take a look at Mr. Sogobi's comment. I interpreted it as an intention to introduce a mobile suit into the world of Gundam X that plays a role similar to Togeki's from Gundam Wing. That's definitely a sensible interpretation. Seeing Rasbet, which has simpler armament compared to Gundam-type mobile suits, as a kind of ancestor to them feels like a reasonable idea. The idea that the flash system was developed with Rasbet and that Gundam-type mobile suits, specializing in bombardment and aerial combat, were created afterwards is an interesting one. Now, let's also check Mr. Ishigaki's reply to Mr. Sogobi. At the time Gundam X was being produced, there was a kind of rule in TV anime production. Designs were created under the assumption that anything other than Gundam-type mobile suits wouldn't be commercialized. So maybe I was experimenting with ideas, like what would happen if it wasn't a Gundam, but had a Gundam-type face? Or what if it wasn't commissioned as a Gundam, but I still gave it a Gundam face? The production environment was extremely busy, so perhaps my state of mind was a little distorted. Mr. Ishigaki talked about how Rasbet was designed under such conditions. The Rasbet design could only have emerged in an era when the Gundam series had a lower commercial profile than it does today. G-Gundam, Gundam Wing and Gundam X were produced and released every year. Sunrise produced and released one story per year. Each of those stories ran for around 40 to 50 episodes. That's an incredibly demanding schedule. What about the latest TV anime, G-Crux? G-Crux was released in 2025, but production began in 2018. It took about 7 years to prepare before being released. The design, functions, and even the reason for existence of each individual mobile suit were carefully developed. This is the kind of environment we have now, where the Gundam series holds significant commercial importance. Rasbet was formed from an extremely busy production environment. Perhaps it is precisely because of this situation that this kind of mobile suit could come into existence. So, what reasoning lies behind Rasbet's face? If key figures such as the director prove the Gundam-type face, then I would like to think that there was some intention behind it. Or was it simply because they were too busy to check every small detail thoroughly? Nevertheless, a Gundam-type face is a very important element within the story. If there was a rule that Gundam types will be commerce, then giving a non-commerce mobile suit a Gundam-type design would be irrational. How do you interpret Rasbet's face? Although Rasbet is a supporting unit, it is also a charming mobile suit. Its pilot, Abel Barr, awakens as a new type as the story progresses. However, he is killed by the Frost brothers, who despise new types. Abel is confused. Isn't your mission to find new types? Shagir responds, "If you cannot understand the truth, then you are not a true new type." And just like that, Abel is killed. This development itself hints at the core of Gundam X's story. The idea that a true new type is someone who can properly understand the hearts of others has been present since the original 0079. However, the climax of Gundam X reveals a different truth, the kind of new type that war leaders imagine does not exist. In other words, those who can operate the Frost system are a different kind of existence to what is defined as a new type. The Frost brothers act based on their own hatred. Because of this, the words they say to Abel may initially seem to be spoken impulsively out of anger. However, when you consider the whole story, you realize that the Frost brothers had actually uncovered a deeper truth about the world. Rasbet presented this truth of the world to the audience even before the climax. So why did Rasbet have a Gundam-type face? I'm looking forward to finding out if this will be revealed in the supplementary materials. However, it might be more interesting if the truth is never revealed, leaving it open to each fan's interpretation. What do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts too, if you'd like to share them. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I'll see you again in the next episode.